Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com.
Welcome to our Voice Top 8 reaction video. This is the week of the Voice Red Wedding, where the producers decide inexplicably that it's a great idea to get rid of half of the contestants right before the finale instead of spreading them out. And so, it's just sort of, it drives me nuts every year. Like, really.
Yeah, it's a bloodletting, and it's not the easiest thing to watch. And with some of the performances tonight, it's going to be kind of interesting to see where the votes are really going to fall.
Yeah, this was a weird night because I feel like this is where you sort of like pull out that killer instinct that you got somewhere within you. Even if you're just having to like slowly and surely just like yank it, you gotta find a way to get like that extra gear to make sure you deliver that like iconic performance that people are going to remember. And to me, I feel like there's maybe two people who did that tonight. And beyond that, I don't know necessarily where the votes are gonna fall for sure.
Yeah, because I know that there are lots of people that are voting for their favorite singer, and then there are some people that are voting for their favorite coach, so whoever's on their team gets the votes. It's all kind of scattered out that way, so it is hard to know where the votes are going to land tonight, especially the same as you. There was like 2 or 3 performances I was like, amazing, I'm going to remember this, and then everything else just kind of fell into the same category of good.
Yeah, I don't think there were as many just bad performances as there were last week, where I felt like there was a couple of people who really just, it didn't work at all, and there was one that completely fell apart. But we have some more decent performances, and it might be unpredictable, we'll see. But before we talk about everyone and go through some of our favorites and try to get a sense of where we're going tomorrow, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. All right, we're going to go in chronological order because that makes sense. We like a little bit of order in our lives.
Yep.
Kaden starts off the night, which is
a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I kind of feel like she is the chosen one for this season, the person who gets a lot of screen time, deservedly so.
Absolutely, and I think it's the same sort of thing that happened last week when Rose went first, and I was like, what, really? First? She's so incredible, and I think it's the same with Katie. Katie is so incredible that she can go first, she can go middle, she can go last. It doesn't matter because she, to me, is not in any danger of not being in the finale. She is going to be there.
I'm scared.
No.
I'm a little bit scared. I'm not terrified, but here's you can sort of make the case as to why Katie doesn't end up at least making it directly. Maybe she'll make it in a save. Like, maybe this is why she'll end up being up for the save.
Who are you?
I have been Katie. I have been a very big Katie supporter, and I remain a very big Katie supporter. I would put her through. I have to be my own devil's advocate in this situation, and I'm probably just like trying to trick myself and trying to make myself feel less secure so I'm even happier when she makes it to the finale. But here we go. Here's the reasoning. She started the night. I don't think this was the best performance that she's done all season.
No, I agree with that. I think that last week's Adele was absolutely killer, but her performance tonight was really good.
I think I'm just worried that people might forget about her over the course of the night. She might not get as much voting in the same volume that she has before. Maybe a few people who have popular coaches end up getting a lot, and maybe there's just sort of this, I think she's safe thing going on, which has happened a lot before with various people.
It can, but we only have, one more voting block here really until next week when it's all over. I can't see her fans being like, she'll be all right. She's popular. She's always great. Of course she's going to go through. Yeah, it's a possibility, but it's not going to happen.
I think you're probably right. I think she'll probably be okay, mostly because I think at this point Voice fans are well trained. And the Voice Red Wedding, they know that they're getting rid of half of them and everyone has to come out and vote kind of regardless of whether or not this is their favorite performance or not.
Well, and also it just goes along with sort of what we said at the beginning of this video. There were a lot of people that were good and had good performances, and then there's, for me, 3 people that just stood out above it, and Katie's was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, she's still easily top half for sure, should be going forward to the finale. Wasn't my favorite tonight, but still, Katie's just, she gets judged on a higher curve because she's been just like up there for the entirety of the season, and everyone else has kind of been like on our level, and so it's just a little bit different with her. But Cat Hammock is second, and somewhere only we know, this sort of brought back to me the cat that has been pretty good here or there throughout the season.
It was a good performance, and I did like it.
Yeah, I think her musicality was good. I think the song worked well for her voice. She didn't hold out notes longer than she needed to. I mean, I don't necessarily know if it's the most relatable song. I mean, we were talking about this earlier before recording that, here is an 18-year-old singer talking about getting old.
Yeah, there was, whenever she sang those particular lyrics about, I'm getting older, I'm like, what are you, like 19, 18? Like, you are so young to be saying those lyrics as someone who's almost 45. Like, I'm thinking, like, you're at the very beginning of your life, so the lyric wise I was having a hard time, so I was like, man, you're so young to be like, I'm getting older.
This hasn't happened to you yet.
But she did a really good job with the song. Vocally, she did a good job. I'm going to be saying the word good a lot today.
Well, I think it kind of works for a lot of people. I would say she's a little bit better than good. I enjoyed this performance. I don't know if it's enough for me to say, okay, I want Cat Hammock in the finale because I feel like she's been a little bit too all over the map, and there's other people that I would rather fight for at this point. But I sort of think of it this way. If tonight is like your last chance to really get out there in front of America and do a performance on a standard performance show, it's a good last impression to leave. And I think she left a good one. She went kind of early in the show. I think she probably will be forgotten by some people even more so than Katie, because at least Katie went first. Like, there's some memorability in that.
Nobody's forgetting Katie.
No, I don't think so. But Mary Beth, I feel kind of bad about in third because she feels like she's performed really early for 2 weeks in a row, and that is like the ultimate kiss of death.
Yeah, she's kind of getting a little bit of the shaft here on that.
Yeah, and this is the thing about a lot of the choices tonight in general. And I don't know what it is about the voice. I don't know if you have some, like, record executives there who are kind of just standing with some, like, evil mustache and they're twisting it and they're like, you cannot change the arrangement of any of these songs ever. I just feel like at times it's like, okay, why can't we have a more creative version of a lot of these songs? Because it's just like, Mary Beth, pretty good singer. I don't think there was that much that was wrong necessarily with her cover before he cheats, but the problem is I've heard this same arrangement done this exact same way from Carrie Underwood, and if you're comparing yourself to Carrie Underwood, you're probably always going to lose.
Yeah, you need to have something that makes it stand out. It's almost like what happened with Shane. Yeah. When he left, he did Caribbean Queen. You can't do it exactly the same. It has to be something that's a little bit different, and not just the tone of your voice. There needs to be something a little bit different in the arrangement that makes it yours, that takes it to that next level, and this just felt like a straight out cover. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good, entertaining cover, but it didn't have that like wow factor that I really need at this point in order to get somebody into the finale. And also, I think you need to be like a little bit wicked when you're performing this song. And I know she said in her package that she was trying to get there, but I like, this is such a bold song and it's such an angry song that like you need to be like at a 12 out of 10 in order to do it. And I think she was maybe about an 8.
Yeah, I thought maybe about an 8 as well. It is a song that you do need to have a lot of heavy anger behind to be singing something like that. So it was good.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. It's another good performance. Not something that I think is going to make it to the finale. But Hello Sunday is next, and they're doing Don't You Worry About a Thing. That's a hard song to do at this point in the show.
Yeah, it's a really hard song to do, and I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to pull it off, and for me it didn't hit where it needed to hit for me, and I really like these two, so it was tough to watch them singing that.
Yeah,
I know how good they are. I like Hello Sunday a lot.
Yeah, you've probably been more of a Hello Sunday defender than I have.
Yeah,
I
really like them. I like their energy. I like their voices. I like their friendship. I like them.
I like them as people, and I think they're likable, and I think they're going places, but I feel like on The Voice, you need to kind of already be closer to that same metaphorical place, and I feel like in a couple of years, if they can still be together, because they've only been performing together a couple of years now, I think they would be so much better than where they are right now, and it was just, the intonation was just off a lot with the two of them. Their harmonies, I thought, were pretty good, but apart, you could just see them really struggling with this song, and I would never sing this song. I mean, granted, I wouldn't sing many of these songs, but it's just, this is too challenging, I think, of a vocal for them to pull off in a duet fashion. I mean, good energy, they moved around well, and they tried to sell it.
Yeah, they did. They did a lot to try to sell it, but for me, it just didn't land.
Yeah, I mean, for me, unfortunately, this was probably my least favorite performance of the night, and I don't foresee them moving forward, but hey.
I'm a little worried about them, too, which really sucks, because I like them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them some credit. It's not easy to be a duo or a trio and make it pretty far on this show,
It's
so,
true.
you know, kudos to them for that, and, you know, they are still really young, so maybe they can learn from this and sort of apply stuff. Moving forward, I wish you were getting a little bit more advice from the coaches, but hey, we don't need to repeat the same rant we did last week about that. Ricky Duran is next with Let It Be, which I feel like, I don't know, at least like once every other year somebody does Let It Be on a singing show, and I understand why. It's just, I love the original version of Let It Be so much. Like, so much.
Let It Be has, to me, never been one of my favorite Beatles songs.
Oh, I love Let It Be.
I love the Beatles.
Yeah.
I grew up with two hippie parents who are still Beatles hippies. I've heard it all. There's a lot of Beatles that I really love. But Let It Be is not one of those songs for me. It's a good song, but it's so repetitive and just kind of goes on and on and on and on and on that by the end of it, I'm like, okay, wrap it up.
The thing that's going to be interesting for Ricky, for me right now, he's one of the people who I would probably have sort of on the bubble of whether or not they're going to make it through to the finale. I think there's a good chance because of his mentor. Blake's got plenty of fans. I think He has plenty of fans.
And he has a beautiful voice. Yeah. He has a really great voice. And he has a really nice stage presence. I'm not worried about Ricky, but again, it was a good performance. And that's kind of where it lands for me. And maybe part of it is because he's saying Let It Be, which is not one of my favorite Beatles songs.
Yeah, I think I probably liked it a little bit more than you did. I liked his tone. I thought his tone was really, really nice. I could see,
it was nice.
I could feel that he was into it, and that's something that I haven't gotten as much of a connection with Ricky with all of his performances. I could tell that he cared about what he was singing, and I could hear a little bit of emotion, not too much where he was starting to get overwhelmed by it. But the thing that I sort of wish is that he just went out there with his guitar, lost the backing band, and just did something that was kind of smaller, intimate, and, you know, because if you think a lot about Beatles, a lot of their more iconic performances are kind of small. I mean, yes, you do occasionally get like a Hey Jude, but they have a lot of smaller and more intimate things, and I always kind of think of Let It Be as sort of like a peaceful song winding down a lot of their careers, at least with the Beatles. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Probably, I would say he's close to making it through. I've got to talk everyone through on this video before I figure it out for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. You're like on the fence about Katie. I don't even know who you are anymore.
I want Katie to move forward. Let's be clear. I'm a little worried about the Voice public anytime someone goes first.
Yeah, so far you've been worried about everybody.
Yeah, I've got a couple people coming up I feel pretty good about.
All right.
But Will Breman is next doing Locked Out of Heaven, and I feel like this. If I was just going somewhere where anyone was singing, no matter where it was, it's a concert hall, it's a grocery store, it doesn't matter. I want Will to be the singer out of the people there because I know he is going to entertain me doing whatever it is that he's doing. I like the dance moves, I like the swagger, I like the suit coat he had on, he looked very stylish.
He works a crowd.
Yeah.
He is truly a rock star in that way, that he works a stage, he works a crowd. I love that he was in with the audience and he's singing. he's such a performer, and that's what I like. He's got a great voice and he did a good job, but the way that he performs is incredible.
Yeah, I think his ability as a performer stands out more than almost anything else with him. I mean, it's sort of like, especially because we've seen a lot of real artistry from Will, like there was this part of me that was just like, okay, let's do a few things that are different than the Bruno Mars version, and let's try to mix it up a little bit like you've done with some other stuff. And it was a very straight-laced cover. It was an entertaining cover, and entertainment-wise, I want Will to make it to the finals because I feel like he deserves it, and I think he'll add an extra spark.
Yep.
But to me, I feel like Katie's probably going to go through despite me being nervous. To me, this is really going to be a race between Ricky and Will as to who ends up getting that final spot.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've already said who I'm really hoping is going to go through and who I think should go through. And speaking of that, let's talk about Rose. My God. Beautiful voice. Her voice is so gorgeous and so powerful. And this song, she took my breath away tonight. And she does every time I hear her. I just can't picture a finale that she is not part of, especially after I Want to Know What Love Is. Oh, it was so good. Chills down my spine with that.
Best performance of the night. I think she is, I don't want to say she's a lock, but I feel really good about her in the finale right now. I was probably, she was the person I was the most on the fence about entering this, not because I didn't love her, but just because, you know, we often see like that one person who gets eliminated right before the finale that we're all really, really mad about. And just my luck, watch it be Rose, and that's what I was thinking. But how do you not put her through after this? I mean, I was really impressed by her higher register, but it was that those low notes that she was hitting. Like, so many people don't want to do them because they think it's unbecoming or like whatever else you want to say, but man, those were good.
Yeah, they were really good, and I know we're not really talking about the duets, but that duet between Rose and Katie was outstanding because they can both hit those low notes really beautifully, and their voices are so beautifully matched. And so that's all I wanted to say about duets. That was like a thing that I didn't know I needed in my life, and now I'm better for it.
Yeah, I'll give my 10-second thoughts on the duets. Okay, so I think Katie and Rose, the best. Ricky and Will, great guitar solo. Jake and Mary Beth, I think they were, I thought they were fine. And then Hello Sunday and Cat Hammock. I don't even remember they had some like name they came up with themselves, and I remember that kind of as much as I do the whole performance. It just didn't work. But yeah, Rose was outstanding. She got to perform late in the show. She got a really big reaction from the crowd.
Yep, and I think she was the best of the night.
Yeah, I do too, and I think that's why I'm feeling really good right now that she'll make it to the finale. All right, now we go to Jake Hoot closing the night. Jake, you gotta change the name of your fan group. You gotta not call them that. I didn't even catch it in the results show last time, but okay. Anyway, Jake. I love the song choice. I love the Eagles. It's a song that you can do country a little bit, but it doesn't feel like you're just doing a predictable country song. I felt like Jake had more artistry than almost anyone else tonight. Mm-hmm. I appreciated that a lot. I mean, and I'm not trying to just get sucked into the voice vortex where they try to constantly be like, you will like the last performances of the night the most. I feel like they do this all the time. But
they're saving their best ones to close up the show. They always do. Yeah,
I would say vocally, Jake was probably the second best. I think Jake did a lot for me with his voice. I think he understood and cared about the lyrics as well. He had a really good moment, and I think he needed a good moment so that he could get votes beyond just we're in the country crowd and we want to vote for Jake because we like country.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't like country really at all. Desperado, I love that song though. Yeah. And his voice it's incredible. It is just so smooth. And he is someone who could easily turn me into a country fan. Listening to just the way he sings these songs. It's just, his voice is something really special. I understand why they had him close out the show tonight. And I still say that with Rose being the absolute best of the night for me.
Yeah.
Jake was right behind her, but, you know, Rose has it for me. If she's not in this finale, this next video tomorrow is going to be a lot of me just crying and yelling. So let's hope that the video's not going to go that way tomorrow.
It will look like an actual Red Wedding reaction, like we had just... Because you remember when the Red Wedding came out on Game of Thrones, everyone posted their, like, reactions of, here's my friend who doesn't know Game of Thrones watching the Red Wedding.
That's
that will be
right.
us tomorrow. All right.
I will be insanely pissed off. There'll be a lot of yelling and a lot of crying. So I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that Rose is going to go through.
All right, well, let's finally just kind of talk about projections. I'm going to give you my prediction for tomorrow night now.
All right, let's have it. Who's going through?
I'm going to say, you know, Jake's a lock at this point.
Yes,
Last of the night, country crowd,
Yep.
great performance.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Katie's my number 2.
Yep.
She's been the favorite pretty much all season.
With good reason.
With good reason. I think Rose, number 3. I think she was the best of the night. I've been a little bit worried here or there, but I think this performance seals it.
Yeah.
This is tough for me. I have to separate Matt the fan from, like, Matt the...
realist.
Matt the realist who has
that
watched...
Ricky is going through.
Ricky is going to go through,
Yeah.
and Will Breman is going to be the annual person. I am really angry about them not making the finale.
Yeah, and Will end up being the person that, oh, you didn't win The Voice, but you're the next rock star out there that's burning up the charts.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, Ricky does a Beatles song. The Voice has a lot of voters who probably grew up on the Beatles. He's got Blake as a mentor.
Everybody loves the Beatles.
Yeah, everyone. And I mean, everyone loves Bruno Mars too, I feel like. But it is a more recent song. I mean, people...
I like Bruno Mars okay, but the Beatles are the best. And I say that, and I'm a person who doesn't even really like Let It Be, but Beatles, come on.
Yeah, the Beatles are better than Bruno Mars. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a debate. But, like, I think I am more pro Bruno Mars than you are, perhaps. But
Yeah.
I just think that...
Well, I'm stuck in a time warp because,
Yeah.
as I said, I have hippie parents, so I'm stuck in the Beatles and the Stones and doo-wop, and so anything that comes out of that, that's where I am.
Yeah, I just think that maybe it's also, like, Will maybe too, like, out there and crazy for some people with the green hair and, like, the movement. I want him to make it through because I think he's original, but...
Yeah, he is.
I think this is probably where we're going to go. I think it's going to be Ricky, Katie, Rose, and Jake.
Yep, and I'm good with that group.
I am all right with that group. I will still be upset tomorrow when Will probably goes.
Like, I feel that Will has a really nice voice, and he's got this amazing stage presence, but I actually think that Ricky has the better voice. It's just, I also like Will, because I like that there's someone on this show that not only has a really strong voice, but uses the entire stage, uses the crowd, is singing up to the judges.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that on this show.
No, people tiptoe on this show too much. People think like, oh, it's a, I'm at a talent show and I don't really know what I'm doing up there. And
Yeah, and that's that really special spark that
Yeah.
Will has that nobody else there has.
come on, voters, just
yeah.
do this for me. I will not be mad if my prediction is wrong because it means that Will goes through. But all right, let's hear from you guys. Give me your predictions for who's going to make it through tomorrow in the comments. And if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking that link in the description to the CARTERMATT store. And we'll see you here next time